step right up. Imaginary object. We did some natural theatre in the market.
We had a stall. We had a stall of imaginary things where we gave. So we handed out little tiny boxes that we made this morning. We gave them to pedestrians and strangers in the market.
And we got them to imagine things, and we helped them imagine them, and then we packed them up and sold them to them for 50 cents.
Yes.
In little boxes.
With labels on them saying what was inside.
We're at the stall at this point, and it was the time where all the kids from the secondary school were coming down for their lunch, and about 2 lads came up. At first I saw them and I was like, "You right, lads, do you want anything?" And they were like, "No thanks," and kept walking. They were like, "Oh, what is it? Like, what's going on?" And I was like, "Anything you want, you can have as long as you imagine it." And they were like, "Ha, anything, ha, yeah, okay, so." And then they were like, let me think. And they stood there for ages, thinking, and they brought more people over, and they were like, "Lads, what do I get? And they ended up getting a rugby contract. I was like, "So you want to play for Munster, do you?" Yeah. And they were like, "Yeah." And it was just watching them absolutely burst into laughter when I came back pretending to roll something up, because it looks like I was rolling something. And I came back and I just went like this into the box, and it was completely empty, and they burst out laughing. They're like, "So it's empty?" And I was like, "No, it's your contract." I was like, and then they laughed, and I was like, "I hope you get in." And they found it absolutely hilarious, and they were like, "Tell me what you want, what you really, really want," and all this. But it was great. They just like, yeah, it was really funny. A young little girl came up, and she came up. It was really great. It was kind of like the only child that came up and was like, "I want a unicorn. I want a rainbow unicorn with all the powers." And I was like, "Okay." And I remember bringing the unicorn, and I was like, "Is this right?" And she was like, "Yeah." But she was hiding behind her mum, so it's 1850 we made.
It's not bad for fresh air.
When me and Alan started, we were the first two doing it.
And it started off like, because we practiced, when we'd like gone through it, it'd been like actual objects.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I want a song and a dance, and I want
joy.
Those ones were really weird.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. I didn't.
I didn't expect that.
Mum was like, "I want wealth and abundance."
Yeah. And
there was this woman who came over, and she was like, anything for like a depressed teenager, and we were like, "Oh well."
So I was like, "How about some support and love?" And she was like, "Brilliant, that'll do."
And then we just sort of gathered
this
amorphous,
and just
support from the air. There was a John Deere tractor from a working man, man in his workload.
Surely a great victory.
And he had a thumb brace on his thumb, and I was like, "Maybe a new thumb." And he was like, "No, I'd go for the John Deere, an ultra John Deere tractor." And we got a talking donkey, but a friendly talking donkey that doesn't talk too much.
Certainty to a woman.
Certainty.
Yes.
Certainty, and
That's such a good one.
Wait,
That's like certainty.
Wow, I like that.
there are a lot of people who came over and were just like, "So there's nothing in the box."